Welcome to the Mercy House Show, where we discuss what is happening in Kensington and at the Mother of Mercy House, as we reach out to the addicts on the street, the residents who need help, and the youth of the neighborhood.
My first instance of when I knew I was poor, 6 years old, I was on a bus coming back from school, and we were in the projects and the other kids weren't, and they said, oh, we're dropping off all the poor kids. I never had any idea, to your point, Dan, that I was poor, zero, until somebody told me. And living a life of service and a life of giving back is truly where I feel. And I don't have a big enough platform or anything like that. I do floors, right? So if I have an opportunity,
that is a platform. The floor is a platform.
That's a good point. It's actually, there you go.
Welcome to another Mercy House podcast. That's really, yeah, we're like real pros at this now, aren't we? I'll tell you. And we have a special guest today. So Dan, can you just tell us a little bit about our special guest and what's going on?
This is Keith. I am so thrilled to have you on. I can't believe it. And Thanksgiving week.
Absolutely.
No
1 year ago today?
1 year ago,
Yeah.
which is so special. I don't even know how to begin.
Karen called and asked if we can get a quote on the floor down in the basement for the kids, and she outlined what the floor is going to be used for. And I came in, I did my standard business mode proposal, talking, and sent over the proposal, called Diane back, and I walked in and we started talking, and you did give me the double look, and I was like, we might have met. And you said, no, you look like my cousin Tom. I said, all right, good. So then we started talking. He told me the mission, what you guys are doing down here, and I was amazed, honestly. I didn't know anything like this. I had an idea, but I never saw it firsthand. Let's put it that way. That something like this existed, and I saw the people outside waiting to be served food, the hungry, the homeless, and I gave the proposal.
Good proposal.
A good proposal with discounts and all and everything of that nature. But when I got home and you had said, we don't have it in the budget this year, and my business mode was still on, my business mind was still on, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm available when you are. And I'm thinking. And then I'd say about 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, in and around that time, maybe a little longer. And I started thinking to myself, I'm saying, what am I doing? And this is the truth. I was like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here trying to charge an organization like yours money to give back to a community that needs desperate help. And I rattled my mind, and I'm thinking, I'm like, I'm going to call Diane, and I'm going to donate this floor to this special place. And that's really where it came. And I'm getting goosebumps now from it too, because I sat there and I thought to myself, I'm like, stop with the business and stop with the money and stop with trying to progress, give back. And it wasn't even really that much of a conscious thought. It was a feeling. It was something that got a hold of me and just said, it's a floor. Like, you don't need to make money off of an organization that's given so much back. And I still feel that way today. I truly do. And just the ability to be able to do that resonated with me deeply. And it was truly our pleasure. My crew worked for free. Didn't tell them. They were great. And my foreman Jared, all the other guys, they came up to me after and they said, listen, we don't want any money for this. And just the fact that all of us, including you, everybody was involved in this project and involved just to give back was very special. Still is. Think about it all the time. Think about the bond that we have over our conversations, and I was just happy to be able to give back in any which way. As little or as big as it was to you or to me or to the kids. Right.
Gigantic.
Right. So just fortunate enough to do that. So that's really how this came about and how our relationship came about, and my relationship with Mother Mercy House, which will be ongoing. And
it was fun, and it was Thanksgiving week.
It was.
They did it during Thanksgiving week,
Yeah.
which, I don't know, it's just really special that it all lined up, and it wasn't in the budget. I really wanted the floor. The floor was very poor quality, I should say, not poor looking, but poor quality. It had cracks in it, and when you went down there, it was just a sad looking room, and I really wanted it done. And then when I asked for a price, and the price was a really good price, and you gave us a really big break. And then I thought, well, this is ridiculous. We need about 1 million things done, and to have the floor done in the basement is probably silly. And I kept thinking, if I could just wait like 6 months, I can ask for someone to maybe pay for the floor. So I said, we're just going to put it on hold. It's not like we're not going to do it. We're just going to put it on hold. I I really want it done, but I'm kind of spoiled and this is ridiculous. And I just said, we're going to put it on hold. And then to get a call, and you said, we're just going to do it for free. I was like, you've got to be kidding. And then on Thanksgiving week, come on, did it get any more fun? It was just.
And that wasn't by design. The Thanksgiving week.
I know.
It's just that was great. And I said, you said, well, when do you want to put it in? I said, well, I'm not going to work my guy. I can move something on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week, 2 weeks. And you said, let's do it. So it was actually this time last year, 1 year, 1 year exactly. And it's so funny when you think about a floor. Right? It's a floor. Okay, I get it. It's not. We're not building castles, but it's a floor that brought people together. That is something that gives back to the community. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just amazing that the way that happens. And for me, it was special. So we talked about our past and everything. So when I was growing up, we had a boys club, Eddystone Boys Club. We had the Kinderbark Boys Club when we grew up in the projects. From 0 to 6, we were in the projects. From there, we moved to Chester and Eddystone. We had a boys club, and it was very integral to my upbringing. All the kids, we had Thursday night basketball. That's where the kids would go. We would congregate. We were all friends. I still have the same exact friends as I do today that I did back then. So it all hit home to me, coming from a family of addicts, alcoholics, abusers, things of that nature, and knowing that you have a safe haven here for not just the kids, but for the damn same, you're serving addicts, you're serving people who are struggling. And for me, personally, that was really why I decided, it wasn't even really a decision. I hate to say that word. It was a calling just to say, listen, we don't need to make money. People did stuff for me when I was a child that you would never think another human would do, right? Because we wouldn't be sitting here. But that was just a little way to do that, just to give back for the people that gave to me when I was younger and helped me to get here, frankly. Without them, who knows? You don't know the B side of the coin ever. But I can tell you it'd probably be a lot more struggle. So it was really was an honor. But I just love the fact that a floor of anything can bring people together and bring us to this point where we're trying to get a message out to others to continue to help during Thanksgiving. If you're fortunate enough to be able to help, let's help. Yeah. And I tell you, when I'm growing up, and even today, there's a lot of canned answers. People say, "Oh, who was your motivation? Who was your inspiration? Who was your hero?" So the canned answer or the answer that everybody would say, "Oh, it's my mom or dad." But I will tell you, on the business side, it was my father for sure. He taught. He came from Chester. He became homeless before we were born. Me and my brother. No, my brother was born before I was born. He left. He had some legal troubles. Had to leave. Hitchhiked to Florida. Right, hitchhiked to Florida. Worked at gas stations and car washes in Florida, and then I guess he got in some trouble down there. Is what I heard. Then he moved out to New Mexico. And when he was in New Mexico, he broke his neck, and he was a terrible alcoholic, and I'm sure on drugs as well. So he breaks his neck in New Mexico, and he was in a Volkswagen Beetle, got rear-ended, broke his neck. Then he found his higher spirit and changed his entire life, built up a huge business, got married, nice family, everything of that nature. And he was really inspirational on the business side and knowing what's possible in life. And then, like I was saying earlier, as you grow as a human, I had the same friends from before. My friend Keith, my friend Jimmy, who've been with me through everything. They're rock. These are my people, and they get me through everything. I get them through everything. Amongst the 50 other people that are in my life, it's just amazing that if you are in need of help, people are willing to help. Yeah. But it's okay to ask for help. That's the key. You got to ask. You got to be willing to say, listen, I'm struggling. Yes. I need anything. It doesn't necessarily need rehab for drugs. It could be just to talk to someone. And that was my biggest thing. My brother had passed away at 14 years old when I was 12, and that was the hardest thing, to have somebody to talk to about. And they helped. Those guys helped. It was good. It was real good. So that's why we're sitting here.
Yeah, it is why we're sitting.
That's why we're sitting here, just to give back. Yeah. Absolutely. But that's the story. That's the story how what drove me to give back to people and give and just to be generous and kind. The word kind, just be nice to each other. Nice. That's all you got to do, and just talk. Okay, you couldn't afford the floor. Okay, we'll work it out. It's okay. The kids need it. That's where it comes. The kids need it. They need a safe place. They need a safe haven. They need someone. They need a place to come into. that they can play and know what they can be, kids.
And that looks pretty. It looks like something where they belong. That looks nice.
They
It looks like
understand
it's
it's
special
something-
to them.
right. And he did the room up nice. I mean, they have all their books, everything, and it's just a place for them where they can feel proud and feel happy to go to. Just like when I was a child, I had that. I wouldn't miss basketball at the boys' club.
We had the rec.
You know,
We
and
had
I
Friday night rec.
and I wasn't the best basketball player in the world. My friends will all tell you, but I still went there. You know, if I was a 10th man off the bench, so be it. And living a life of service and a life of giving back is truly where I feel. And I don't know, I don't have a big enough platform or anything like that. I do floors, right? So if I have an opportunity,
That is a
to give-
platform.
it
The floor is a platform.
That's a good point. That's
Yeah.
it's a great. It's actually, yeah. There you go. The floor is my platform. I
best
like it. I
platform
like
ever.
it. I like it. But that's what I'm able to do, and that's how I'm able to give back. And K&A Coatings is now every year we'll be donating some type of surface. We're going to do church steps as soon as the spring comes for church for free in Middletown, Pennsylvania. They same almost the same exact story, Diane. They called and wanted a bid on the front steps. They were moving some glass back or something, and I went out, gave them the bid, and they said, "Oh, it's not in the budget this year." Same thing. Couple weeks, maybe a month came by, and I'm like, "What am I doing? Like, I don't understand. These people are giving so much to so many, and I'm worrying about a profit." So contacted them, and they almost the same, the same. So you try to work on what you can and what you have and what you can do. But I really think in giving you receive, and it's.
I do too.
I thought, and I'll say, I thought about Mother Mercy House. I don't want to exaggerate, and I won't. At least once a week for the last year.
Tell me, so what has it meant having the floor here at Mother of Mercy House? Because I think it's made a big difference. But tell me why, in your opinion, why it makes a difference to have that.
So the floor I knew was going to make a very big difference in beauty, sensibility, a million things. Okay, you couldn't even wipe down the other floor. So I kept saying I'm going to do the floor. So having it done makes the floor look cool, and that may not be important to you guys, but the kids that come into a place when it's a place they're going to hang out, when they live in an area that you can't really walk on the streets without passing needles and without passing feces and needles and things like that. And then to come into a place that now also doesn't look that great. And the floor is the original basement floor of a church. And it's okay. It wasn't like the worst, but it's also not pretty. It's just okay. And it's just another okay, acceptable thing. And then to get a really cool floor is a huge difference. And with that came excitement for me to now I'm going to paint it. And I let the older kids now be involved. This is what we're going to get.
remember that, yeah.
You guys, you know what? You don't like it? You pick the color. They were like, we get to pick the color? I'm like, you complained. I acted like all this was being done because they complained. And then they got to pick it. Now all of a sudden, they all think they designed the basement. Now we're all involved. Now it's their hangout. Did it make a difference? You have no idea. They thought it was the be-all, end-all, and they still do.
See,
So it's a community room now.
and I think too, when you're surrounded by trash, by feces, needles, and you're living in a house that's only so nice because you're living down here in Kensington, and so maybe you even feel like, well, compared to other things I see on TV, my house is trash. And then you come to the place that welcomes you after school, and that feels like trash. I think it's easy to just slip into thinking that you're trash.
It did. Dan, you brought up a good point, and that this is so poignant that you can get used to anything, right? You can get used to anything. My first episode, or my first instance of when I knew I was poor, 6 years old, I was on a bus coming back from school, and we were in the projects, and the other kids weren't, and they said, "Oh, we're dropping off all the poor kids." I never had any idea, to your point, Dan, that I was poor, zero, until somebody told me. So if you don't know what else is out there, and if you're not exposed to different things, if you're not exposed in just the simplest things of cleanliness, of a safe haven, of things of that nature, you just don't know. So when they come in and you let them paint it, which is brilliant, to have them understand it, that this is yours too now, brilliant. Now they know, anything is, this is so simple, but we can do much more with our lives. And that's really what I think that you're trying to do here is show these kids, and I show the adults too, that there's more out there in life if you want it. And a simple room like that, to us it might be a simple room, but I can promise you to a child that comes from probably a worse background than I have, potentially, that is more than just a room, because you made it theirs. You made it theirs. I forgot about that part of the story where you had them paint, you had them pick out things. I do remember it now that you said it again, but that's their room now.
Also, the other thing we do with the kids, which I think it was my idea, but it's also a very simple idea, and an idea that I think is so cool for them, is that we take field trips in the summer. We took 7 this year, actually. What they don't understand is they think this is Philadelphia. So the first year, we took all of our field trips within 20 minutes of here. Because I want them to know that Philadelphia is a destination. Mm-hmm. And they think this is Philadelphia. And I want these kids to know that once you can get on SEPTA, you can get to a ball game. Philadelphia is a really cool city. Mm-hmm. We get to museums, to ball games, to the zoo. We've been to Sierra Green. Have you ever been there?
No.
Sierra Green is a green space on top of 30th Street. It's on top of a parking garage.
And the impact that you're having, you'll never, just something simple as that is taking them on field trips. Somebody's remembering that for the rest of their lives. You change people's lives with that gesture that we might think is so small. It's really not. You never know. And you're not doing it for praise or thanks or.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Not at all. But the change and the effect you're having on these children, you'll never truly know. And that in and of itself is a blessing if you think about it.
And we say that you'll never know the impact you made. I completely believe that when we die and see God one day, He just shows us the impact. He shows us how the dominoes fell, for better or for worse, and He died for all the times it fell for worse. And when I see you guys talk about this, it's like you're so instinctively Catholic. Like you're so like really, yeah. No, I mean it's just in you. Like you're saying, oh, I just woke up and I realized, this is just the right thing to do. It's like a calling. It's like, it is a calling. And you responded. And, we have people that talk religion and can say all the right things, but you're living it. Like, you're listening to God and you're saying yes, and you're living it. And, that's what's so compelling about Mother of Mercy House, is that the people who come down here and get connected, they're just living it. And
we have we have really good people. You saw at lunch today how many people come in.
Yeah, tell us about today. Tell us what went on today.
That was a great day. Today we have a lunch every second and fourth Monday of the month. And we bring in the people that live outdoors. So whether they have mental health issues or substance use disorder, they get to come in and have lunch. And we usually serve Olive Garden or a very nice lunch. The deal is they have to come in and sit down, which in the beginning, a year and a half ago when we started, it was a little bit difficult. They didn't want to sit down. Well, that's the deal. Either you sit down or you don't eat. I want them to know remember what it's like to sit down family style and to talk to people. And what we do is we put people in the groups that have lived experience, or they're either recovery specialists or they just have lived experience. They're not allowed to bring up recovery or bring up God. The reason is people are turned off by that if they think they're going to come in and they're going to have to talk about religion or recovery. But the truth is, it always comes up, and we know that. So every single conversation, recovery or religion, come up, and we know that. So they come in and we serve them. They sit down, the tables are covered, they get a drink, and they get a beautiful meal, and someone sits at the table with them. And usually somebody either goes into recovery, they talk about recovery or detox or housing. We have social workers in the building. They don't come up to you, you go to them, because it's very intimidating, and it works out beautifully. And we usually have about 140 people come in for lunch. Today we had almost 130, and we had 12th Street Catering, which is one of my very favorite caterers in the city, cater our Thanksgiving lunch. So we had a big Thanksgiving lunch today, and our neighbors just loved it. So they had the whole Thanksgiving spread, which was like turkey and green beans and mashed potatoes and the best cornbread I ever had. Some crazy cranberry sauce. I don't even know what it was. It was great. And brownies and a whole Thanksgiving spread. Fantastic. And they were shocked and they loved it. And it just makes them feel special and like part of something bigger.
Every decision, everything that we say to each other as humans has an impact. And if you walk on this earth with that in mind, everything you say or do has an impact. And people, my dad always said, they'll never remember what you say. They'll never remember what you did. They'll always remember how you make them feel, to your point, Dan. They'll always remember how you make them feel. So when we're long gone, your path and your vision for this place will be here for a long, long time. So what you're doing is absolutely amazing, I feel. And you're making people feel, you're welcome. You're making people feel needed and wanted and valued, and they are. They're God's creatures. They're human beings, for God's sakes. It is. We're all here together. So why make it harder on each other? In general life, you don't necessarily need to be an addict or an alcoholic or a person. You just need to be struggling. People just need somebody to talk to. They just need somebody to open up to, feel trusted around, feel valuable around. That's all people need. That's all they need. And how much does that cost?
Oh gosh.
Free, right?
Yeah.
Free. You talk to me, it's free. I'm not going to give you advice. Who am I to give advice?
Oh, I give
I can,
advice even when people don't want
I can give you guidance.
Yeah.
I can go this way. I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
If you want to know how I did it, I can tell you. But your journey is going to be different than mine. Your set of conditions is different than mine. But we're all in the same boat. We're all one decision away from being somebody that we don't think we ever could be.
Oh,
100%. You know, it's funny. I'm sitting in one of the chairs one of the addicts were sitting in out there. I had to pull one in because we had a third person. And it's like, oh my goodness. Like I'm sitting in their seat. And how humbling is that? As I was bringing this in and passing the altar with this chair, it was like I felt like God was just saying, yeah, be humble because you're one decision away from being out there. One decision. And I think as parents, we have to remember that our kids are one decision away, but also as adults, we need to remember like we are one decision away and we need to just be humble, grateful for what we have at Thanksgiving, and then humble and recognize what we can give. And I think you're dead on. Like the world needs things. I mean, the floor is so helpful, right? But what it needs more than the floor is the love with which the floor was given. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think your gift, it's like every gift that comes to Mother of Mercy House, it's just this gift of love. And I feel like that's what changes a neighborhood as much as everything else. I mean, you need the other things, but all the other things without love, you can have a big mansion and not have love. You're gonna have an empty life.
People often will judge. I talk to my friends, my girlfriend, about everybody about this, and people will judge, not knowing what you just said about the chair, Dan. That's walking a mile in someone's shoes, right? You sat down in someone's seat that is an addict. That when they leave here, they're not going where you're going, where I'm going, or where you're going. They're going back out on the street to survive, not survive because they're a little bit hungry. They're fighting for their life. And you're sitting in that seat. And to be humble is the key to just about everything. And it's giving me goosebumps a little bit. I know a lot of people that perceive to have money that are miserable. And I know people that are middle class, that have the best families. I'm friends with them, but have the best families and the most caring and open and honest, which is key, which I believe that you do here. Is people can tell you anything without judgment. And that's huge. So I really like that story with the chair because it really does bring it back. Like we're fortunate and we need to stay humble. We need to understand that that could have been our chair before you picked it up.
Mother of Mercy House is just like this. It's like a funnel for goodness to the neighborhood. It really is.
and I am the head, the figure, face, whatever. But the truth is, everybody's given stuff.
You feel it when you walk through the door. You feel it when you walk through the door.
Do you?
You do. I felt it again today. I thought it was going to be an Aborigine the last time I was here. Walked through today, felt the warmth again. The legit warmth of this place is it's consuming. It's consuming. There's a million places you can help. I can help. Everybody can help. But we're here. And when I came back, I had the same exact feeling that we met 1 year ago today. We were installed 1 year ago today, and I was like, this is a special place. Like legitimately a special place. It feels like when you walk through here, genuine, like Dan said, there's people, everyone here has the same feeling, I guess, or the same thought process. But you can tell the people care. This isn't a pass through. This is like, we want to make a difference. I feel that. I felt it when we sat right before we came in at the table. And I think that's what people like me are coming to help and to give back to you because of your enthusiasm and your presence and it's an omnipresence, as a matter of fact, that these people understand that you're safe and this is you can come here and you feel it. And whatever's going on, you can feel it.
And when you feel safe, it's so much easier to make good decisions. And when you don't feel safe or you don't have your basic needs met, it's really easy to make bad decisions. I think all the time, like in my own life, like not that we grew up rich because we didn't, but I grew up with enough. It's so easy if I don't make good decisions with the way that I was brought up, I mean, I have no right to judge anybody. Like how, and in fact, if I don't give back, something's really wrong with me. And it's humbling and it's astonishing to be around. Just as we wrap up here, I just want to ask, what are you looking forward to with Thanksgiving with your families, and what's your Thanksgiving wish for the people in the neighborhood here? I'll start off since I asked the question. It's only fair. We're hosting Thanksgiving at my house this year, so I'm not looking forward to all the cleaning. But I got to be honest, my wife really crushed it this weekend, and our house is really clean. So we have my parents and some relatives coming over, and I'm looking forward to that. And my 9-year-old son Noah having his Thanksgiving break. 'Cause I know it's still, when you're little, it's always just cool to have days off from school and eat a bunch of food. So I'm looking forward to that. My Thanksgiving wish for the neighborhood, of course, I wish that everybody was clean and everybody was making only good decisions, and all the kids here were just blessed. But I guess my wish is that outside of that they would just, it'll sound trite and overly Catholic, but just that they would find a little peace from God in their hearts and move just one little inch closer to Him, because that's where everything good ultimately comes from, is living a life that's right with Him. So, that's my Thanksgiving hopes and my Thanksgiving wish.
Well, I hope that comes true for you. That's awesome. That's great. Good stuff.
You want to go next?
You can.
Okay.
So what are you looking forward to for Thanksgiving?
I love Thanksgiving. I absolutely love it. That's one of my favorite holidays. I spend it at my sister. She has 5 children, as do I. So all the kids go. They're all adults now, but we just have a great time. My sister's a fabulous cook, and the kids are really fun. Our kids are all the same ages. She had 5 and 6 years, and I don't know, I just love Thanksgiving. So that's really fun. And my wish for the families here, my wish is a little different than yours. I just hope that inside their homes, they're enjoying a really calm meal as a family, and they're feeling loved by each other. I just want them to just feel loved by each other. Like a warm house, a warm, calm house, and a lot of love.
Well, giving them a turkey, as silly as that might sound, is giving them that opportunity.
That's great. That's great. For me, I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed. I have 4 beautiful kids, 2 grandkids. They're fantastic. My oldest son is expecting with his girlfriend now, so that's exciting. My 2 younger kids are doing well. Everybody's doing great. I have a great woman in my life who's really changed me.
Yay! Good for you. I'm glad.
Yeah, pretty good.
Pretty great.
Pretty good.
Let's talk about her. What's her name?
Jeannie, wonderful. Christian woman,
Good for you.
beautiful, God-fearing.
Good.
Yeah, pretty good.
Well, wait
You know
till
me,
Jean
I'm an
sees
emotional
this.
guy. I'm an emotional guy,
Wow.
so I just say it like it is. I don't hold back.
Hi, Jean.
I'm not afraid of emotion. I'm not a manly man. I'm good. So my wish is that my family continues to do well. My wish for the neighborhood and my wish for anyone is that each and every individual finds their peace. Happiness is happiness. Peace is peace. I've been happy. I've never been peaceful to this day in my life. Today, I'm peaceful. I've been peaceful since for the last 2 years since I've been with Jeannie, and amazing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Make me cry.
It is what it is. But yeah, something. So yeah, I want people to find peace. Happiness, fleeting. Right? You're happy one minute, you're not the next. But if you're at peace, boy, isn't that different? So I just hope every human can find their peace, because your peace is different than mine. We all live in a life of turmoil, like chaotic more than turmoil. But some people do live in complete chaos, and it's never peaceful. So when you find that peace, and I don't know if I'm all the way at that level, but if you can find some sort of peace that others have, your life does change. I mean, it changes, and I'm thankful for that. And Thanksgiving, it's my favorite holiday as well. We talked about that before. So that's my wish. And I know this wasn't the intention, but as K&A Coatings, I was just here, and we really appreciate what you're doing. We want to give another donation to you guys. Here's a check for $1,000 from our company to you.
Oh my God.
You keep buying these people turkeys and doing your job.
God, you're the best.
You're the best.
Oh my God.
We're doing what we need to do, and you give it back, right? We're fortunate. So, what little bit that helps, I hope the mission continues. And you ever need anything from me, you let me know, and I'm coming through the door and feel that warmth again, because it's special for me as well.